Charlie from Stan James. Welcome to a preview of day 2 of the international meeting on Saturday from Cheltenham, featuring of course the Grade 1 Tingle Creek and also the StanJames.com International Hurdle. And what a race we've got in store. First of all, chronologically going down, there's 8 races of course on the card now, starting at 11:40. Fingers crossed again that it goes ahead. The second race is a wonderful JCB Triumph Hurdle trial. Sam Winner was very, very impressive. Run away with this on his debut for the Nichols Yard at the open meeting, and I was very, very taken with this. Can just pass on a good word for Immediate Luz. I was fortunate enough to go to Nicky Henderson's at the start of the season, and he was suggesting that it was daft that bookmakers like ourselves at Stan James were quoting Immediate Luz for the Triumph Hurdle. He then went on to say that he'd been sort of after this horse for a number of months, so they think I think they think a lot of this horse. At first they'd only been in the yard a day, but the fact that I think they've been pursuing him for some time, and I think his French form is decent. But Immediate Luz is flat form in France. Immediate Luz is a horse they are quite taken with at the Henderson Yard, but Sam Winner I thought looked very, very good first time out for Paul Nicholls. The Novices Chase Chicago Grey won at the open meeting last time, but behind him was Carrington Brook of Joe Tizard and Colin Tizard, and I thought this horse really looked well in the paddock, a real chaser, and I was slightly disappointed with him. He didn't jump with the fluency and alacrity you would expect of a potential RSA Chase winner, but I might give him, well, I would normally give him one more opportunity, but I was very taken with Wymot at a Bangor of Donald McCain. I'm going to back Wymot until he is beaten. He's got to give a penalty, of course, to Carrington Brook, but Wymot, I know they think a lot of this in the Donald McCain yard. Jumped beautifully at Bangor on JB. Okay, Tara Blaze, who he beat. He won at Exeter on Sunday, but hardly was impressive. That was over 2-4. I think Tara Blaze is probably going to be a genuine stayer, and mistake at the last, and I thought was just pushed out to be a decent horse. Hidden Keel, I think that grey will win races in the future. Onto the real Keel Hurdle, and I think the cheek pieces may be the answer for Zanar. Disappointing, let's get it right, behind Silviniaco Conti last time in the Ascot Hurdle, and of course Zanar had won that last year, going on to of course finishing third in the Champion Hurdle. The cheek pieces are likely to be back on. Barry Geraghty takes the ride, made mistakes, and I think the cheek piece will be on to make him concentrate better. Got a bit to find of course with Carabac, trained by Alan King. Alan King was around, I suppose, the David Nicholson yard when Ren Keel was a wonderful servant for that yard. And of course this race is named after. I do think Carabac is a genuine 3-miler though. I think he's a bit of a slow boat, I'm afraid now, and I think he's an out-and-out stayer. And I think Zanar really should get his revenge on the Ascot Hurdle, and I really do expect Zanar to win that with the cheek pieces back on. I don't think he'll ever be a Champion Hurdle horse. The Tingle Creek is the next one up. Masterminded is our 4-5 favourite with ourselves at StanJames.com, having been put in originally 5-6. Hasn't really been beaten at Cheltenham last 2 occasions by Well Chief and of course by Big Zeb last time, but absolutely imperious before that, and he really is a top class animal. Twist Magic, I'm afraid to say, I think his last 6 wins have all been right-handed, and in his last 4 I think races at Cheltenham he's fallen, beaten 50 lengths, fell in the Arkle and pulled up. Although it shouldn't be said that when he fell in the Arkle he was going very well. I think that was in the year of My Way to Sols, and so he is the second favourite, 11-2. It's 6-1. Then Govan, who of course won at the open meeting, but I think Masterminded at his best is top class. And do you remember when he was beaten by Well Chief in the 2009 open meeting? He jumped out to the right, but there was I thought he looked magnificent. It's possible that he is slightly better going right-handed, but I do think Masterminded will win this. Probably no for Healy in the plate. Then we come on to the big race, the StanJames.com International Hurdle, and we're fortunate enough, we've got 9 entries this morning have been entered. I would suggest we'll probably get 6 or 7 declared, including the big 4. Menora is our 13-8 favourite. Menora, of course, won the Supreme Novices, then went on to win the Greatwood Hurdle off top weight against Q Card, 9-4. We put him in 15-8, 2-1, 9-4. Why we've had to push him out to become one of the other horses, but 9-4 Q Card. It's a wonderful winner of the Festival Bump, wonderful winner over 2.5 at Aintree, then to 2 miles Okay, the horse who finished second of Philip Hobbs has hardly franked the form, but Q Card 9-4. Colin Tizard will know whether he is a realistic champion hurdle contender or whether he's just a very, very good novice on Saturday. And then in many ways, the even more fascinating Silviniaco Conti, 2.5 miles at Chepstow. Very, very impressive penultimate start. Could he have been more impressive? Beating Karabakh Zainar et al. At Ascot. I mean, that was over 2.5 miles, but he wouldn't beat them senseless at 2 miles. But he is our 5-2 shot. And then Clark's Choice. Forget the Haydock run last time. I'm absolutely sure he's better on better ground. The forecast ground is good before that. He turned what looked at the first meeting at Cheltenham. He turned what looked a very competitive race into a procession. And he's the one for money. 9-1 with ourselves now into 8-1. We are non-runner no bet on the StanJames.com International Hurdle. So you won't back any of those horses and they don't run, don't worry about it, you will get your money back. So the StanJames.com International Hurdle, it is 13-8 Minora, the Greatwood winner, the Supreme Novices winner. He's the favourite against the two pretenders. How are they? Q Card, is he just a precocious novice or is he the real deal? Then on to the Vote AP, the big betting race of the day, and Pocalan is the top weight at 11 stone 12. Fascinating race this. Little Josh, of course, who won the Paddy Power, is up £9. Dancing Tornado, we still don't know what AP is going to ride in the race. Great Endeavour finished 6th in the Paddy Power. A wonderful, wonderful race this as well. From a betting point, we're again at Stan James betting. Of course, the odds 1, 2, 3, 4 at this moment in time. But there again, I think it's a really, really competitive race. Is Little Josh up to defying a £9 penalty for Sam Twiston Davis? And then the last race on the card is the Albert Bartlett. This is the 3 miler at the festival. This is a trial for that. And again, we have Alpha off in this. Will he run in this or will he run in a 2 miler? Again, it's another potentially top class race. But the feature race, or 2 feature races on the card, the Tingle Creek, Masterminded versus a stablemate Twist Magic. Twist Magic hasn't had much luck at Cheltenham, all going left-handed in recent days, and I think Masterminded ought to win that. But the StanJames.com International non-runner bet with ourselves at the sponsors Stan James. Minora 13-8 to beat the 2 young pretenders. Q Card, how good is he? We'll find out on Saturday. He's 9-4 for the International with the sponsors Stan James. Be lucky.